Go on. With prolonged exposure, patient is hopefully dying.
My throat feels really hairy. Hi everyone, welcome to GameGorgon. My name is Croog.
I'm Indigo.
And today we're talking to you about hairy throats.
We're going to be talking to you about the Alchemist in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, not the playtest. With the official release of Paizo's Pathfinder 2nd Edition, we're going to be going through each individual class and going into what the class can do and kind of doing an overview of the class. We're going to be starting with the most important class, the class that starts with an A, Alchemist.
It also happens. It also happens to be your favorite class.
Yeah. Yes. From the playtest to this, my opinion about what the subclass potential is has shifted from one to a different one.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's interesting. Let's get into it. You're going to be choosing Alchemist as your base class. You're going to be gaining the following proficiencies. If you're not quite sure what all of these proficiencies are going to be doing, head back to our character creation video, watch that. And if you're still confused, leave a comment and let us know what your question is, and we'll get back to you and let you know if we can even answer it or if it was a really bad explanation on our part.
You'll notice that an alchemist is proficient in crafting.
It is.
It's really good call there on that one. No particular reason I'm pointing that out in particular. No. First, we're going to go over alchemy. This is the feature of your class that's going to allow you to craft potions.
Yes.
Alchemy is based around formulas. Formulas basically define the kinds of potions that you know how to make. Kind of like spells in a spell book, but they're specific for alchemists. Each formula obviously creates a potion with a different kind of effect. Gathering a plethora of formulas is something that you want to do. The first thing that alchemy is going to give your alchemist is the Alchemy Crafting Feat, which is going to allow you to pick 4 formulas of first level and add them to your repertoire.
It also is going to allow you to craft alchemy things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, kind of inherently, right?
You would hope so,
Yeah.
but I mean, the feat specifically says you can now craft alchemy things.
Yeah.
And you're like, I was hoping as an alchemist. You're also going to get infused reagents, which allows you to create potions and alchemy items equal to your level plus your intelligence modifier per day. And this is basically for free. But these items basically become inert after 24 hours or when you prep for the next day.
Right,
So,
you can't like save up, like, oh, I can craft 17 days worth of alchemical stuff.
but you are still able to then craft normal things using
Right.
your resources.
Yes.
Just using your infused reagents is a limited pool that basically allows you, your character, to have limits. This is your per day castings, basically.
Yep. Next, you're going to get advanced alchemy, which is going to allow you to make a batch of like an alchemical formula. That batch is going to create 2 uses or 2 individual potions of whatever formula you use that are going to stay potent for 24 hours. You ignore the amount of time that it takes to normally make that thing. It also ignores the crafting check. You have to have the formula in your book, and your advanced alchemy level is going to be equal to your level. That's a lot of stuff.
Infused reagents is basically, this is a pool of points that you get to use. And then you have 2 options in which you can use those reagents. Advanced alchemy, which is, today I would like to prep 3 alchemist fires.
Sure.
Right? Because you're like, I'm probably going to blow things up today.
Yeah.
Now, the second thing that you're going to be gaining is you're going to be gaining quick alchemy.
Yes.
Which basically means that you can do the exact same thing as advanced alchemy, except for you make 1 of those items, and it only lasts for your turn.
But you can do it spontaneously.
Yeah, it's
basically.
an
it takes
action.
no time. Yeah, it's like the difference between like a spontaneous caster and a prepared caster, but both in one class. You're able to both prepare at the beginning of the day and get the benefit of doubling your output for the amount of resources you put in, or you can prepare on the spot. Don't get that benefit of the resources, but you get the benefit of, I can be flexible in this situation.
Exactly.
At first level, you also get formula book. This is going to allow you to store your formulas.
Yeah.
It's going to start with 2 formulas in it. So keeping in mind the fact that we got 4 formulas from a feat, that's 6 formulas that we have access to now. This is also going to grant you 2 additional formulas every time you level, with the one caveat being that the formulas have to be of a level you can create. You can't like cherry pick from like level 18 at level 6.
Yeah. You can also buy and or learn other formulas from other from NPCs or within the world. You shouldn't be level 5 and stuck with first level formulas just because of the environment that you're in the game.
Exactly like a spellbook for a wizard. You can put stuff in it, but you also just get to add to it when you level.
Exactly. The next thing that we're going to be going over is the research field. This is where the class actually really starts to separate into 3 different kind of categories. The first one is going to be bomber. If you can't tell, they're the DPS. They're doing the heavy damage.
The first role of the bomber is to be a goblin. How can you not?
With the bomber, you're going to be gaining 2 additional formulas at first level.
That's 8 total.
That has to be a bomb. Also, when a bomb normally would do splash damage, you can actually choose it to just do that splash damage to the primary target.
That's cool.
Yeah, so instead of going like, cool, it does a 5-foot radius around everyone, oh, my allies are there, like, I'd rather just do that additional splash damage to the single target. At 5th level, you're going to get Field Discovery. Field Discovery happens at 5th level for all of the subclasses, or all of the, I guess it's not really a subclass, it's kind of like a
research field.
You're going to be able to make 3 bombs with your daily prep, your advanced alchemy, instead of 2 in the mornings. But it's specific to bombs. There's a pattern that goes through. You'll be like, oh, this is exactly like bomber. Oh, they're all the same. They're all...
It's just that changes the keyword of bomb to something else.
Exactly.
Right. At 7th level, you're going to get Perpetual Infusion. This is going to allow you to make 2 items with quick alchemy instead of just making 1. So you can use, an action to make 2 bombs and then, squeeze them suggestively.
So
it's not just any bombs. You're going to have to choose 2 from the following list. Lesser Acid Flask, Lesser Alchemist's Fire, Lesser Bottled Lightning, Lesser Liquid Ice, which is just water. Can we just, take a step back and just be like, liquid ice is water? Lesser Tanglefoot Bag, Lesser Thunderstone. Last one's not a potion, it's a stone.
at level 11,
there you go.
You're going to get Perpetual Potency, where you're going to take the alchemy things that you gained from level 7, which was your Perpetual Infusion, and you're going to be able to create the moderate versions of them.
Level 10, you're going to get Greater Field Discovery. You're going to increase your splash damage radius to 10 feet. Right here, give me some.
That one was way easier. Let me go to the 17, which is Perpetual Perfection.
If you want to play the Alchemist, you have to be really good at tongue twisters.
At level 17, you're going to get Perpetual Perfection.
That's good.
Where you have where the 2 bombs that you got from your Perpetual Infusion, and you're going to be able to create the greater versions of them. Paizo's Perpetual Perfection Potency Infusion.
Yeah, that's your level 25. There is no level 25. Next up, we're talking about the Chirurgeon, which is supposed to pronounce like surgeon. So I guess I should have said Chirurgeon. Right?
I don't know.
I feel like there was a comment on our
playtest
Alchemist video where somebody said pronounce it like surgeon.
I'm going to say I find that this is actually the weaker of the 3 because you don't get as many choices as you do in the other ones. So screw it. Let's just go forward.
It's weak, so it doesn't deserve to be pronounced correctly. The Chirurgeon's going to start out with 2 of the following formulas: Lesser Antidote, Lesser Anti-Plague, or Lesser Antibody. You can kind of tell where this is going as far as like the entire direction of this field research just by that one thing. The Chirurgeon's also going to be able to use their crafting check instead of their medicine check as long as they are trained in medicine to make any medicine check of either a trained or an untrained variety.
Yeah, so an example of an untrained action in which you can take with medicine is administer first aid, and a trained one is treat disease.
Yep. We're going to be going over all of these in the future, all of these like skills and the actions associated with them. If Squeeze is in the book, it's going to get some hate. Sorry.
At level 5, you're going to get Field Discovery. You're going to be able to make 3 elixirs of life instead of 2 when using your advanced alchemy.
At 7th level, you're going to get Perpetual Infusion. This is going to allow you to... We already said this.
Yep.
Can we just cut in the old one? At 7th level, you're going to get Perpetual Infusion. This is going to allow you to make 2 items with quick alchemy instead of just making 1. So you can use, an action to make 2 bombs. Except for this time, it's lesser antidote and lesser anti-plague.
So when I was saying that you don't get as many choices, it's literally at the first level you get, here's these 3 things you get to choose 2 of.
As opposed to just bombs.
Exactly. Well, yeah, here's all of these other things. And then at this one, it's like, cool, you just get these. You don't get as many choices.
Yeah.
And I know that it's limited because of healing as a whole is kind
limited
of
in this class. Like the DPS part of this class is pretty like filled out because that's kind of like its primary role, and maybe it's not a specialist DPS class, but its primary role I think is damage. It has secondary and definitely not anything to be laughed at healing and utility like functions, but at the same time healing has a lot less diversity as a whole.
Yeah.
You either heal damage, heal status effects, or like buff, like, you know, but then you're getting into the utility section.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it works.
Yeah, no,
If this
I think
is what you want your character to be. These are probably the things you would have picked anyway. So.
Yeah, I was just more saying that the fact that you're not getting choices, and I know how big we are on like being able to make your own decisions.
But Jesus Christ, there's enough choices in the rest of the class, like the feat section. Fuck.
We're still on level 1.
Yeah.
At level 11, guess what you're gonna get? Perpetual Potency, where you're going to be able to make moderate versions of Antidote and Anti-Plague.
At level 13, your greater field discovery is kind of OP as fuck. Whenever anybody drinks any type of elixir of life that you made for them, they're gonna just get max healing instead of rolling. I think that's hella strong. One of the big things about healing is, oh, you need heals and I can heal you, but what if I roll low? Then I basically wasted this turn. But if I attack, I might get to do the thing and kill the guy. But like this is like, no, I can exactly tell you how much health you're getting. You're getting this much health. Is that useful or not? Bottom line.
Well, and it also makes great sense for you to be able to make different tiers of health potions versus always making max. I think this is really nice.
It like making healing predictable is very strong in my opinion. This is great.
At level 17, you're gonna get Perpetual Perfection. First try.
This is the 4th tick.
You're going to get greater versions of Antidote and Anti-Plague.
Next up, we're talking about Mutagenist. This is Indigo's favorite?
I actually think this is the stronger one.
Yeah.
I used to be all like super about Bomber. This actually has a ton of utilitarian and damage. Like it's been changed, but it's got some fun stuff to it.
Let's talk about
yeah,
it.
exactly.
At level 1, you're going to start with 2 additional mutagens in your formula book. Additionally, you can also gain the benefit of a mutagen even if it wasn't created for you, which is normally a restriction.
You're also going to increase your unarmed proficiency whenever your simple weapon proficiency increases. A lot of the mutagens will have some sort of like primal aspect to it, so like you might be able to gain a slashing weapons, like your claws might grow claws. And
so increasing that proficiency is basically increasing the like viability of those mutagens moving forward.
Exactly.
They're not going to be useful if you're untrained. That makes so much sense.
I don't remember if this was in the playtest, to be completely honest with you, but I really love this, and I think it's a really good way to continuously make the mutagens viable.
Do me a favor, look at the camera and say mutagen.
Mutagen.
Nope, mutagen.
Mutagen. When are you gonna discover I say shit real weird?
I don't know. When the fucking I don't give a shit. It's when the audience discovers it. At 5th level, you're gonna get field discovery. Too lazy to say it, cutting it in.
You're going to be able to make 3 bombs with your daily prep, your advanced alchemy, instead of 2 in the mornings. But it's specific to bombs. Except for it's mutagens instead of the other stuff.
Yeah, mutagens, exactly.
At level 7, you're going to get Perpetual Infusion, where you're going to be able to choose 2 of the following mutagens. Lesser Bestial Mutagen, Lesser Bull-Headed Mutagen, Lesser Cognitive Mutagen, Lesser Juggernaut Mutagen, Lesser Quicksilver Mutagen, Lesser Silver Tongue Mutagen.
At level 11, you're going to get Perpetual Potency. The mutagens you picked for Perpetual Infusion are going to increase to their moderate variety.
At level 13, you're going to get Greater Field Discovery, where you're going to be able to take 2 different mutagens that have the same properties and be able to take the benefit and the drawback of both of them. And if you take a third one, you get rid of the benefit of one of the 2 that you had already had, but you get to choose.
Okay.
But you take the drawback of all 3 of them.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
I love the shit out of that because I love most things that have an opportunity cost. Yeah, you can use a third one, but you're going to be stacking those penalties up. I love that kind of design. 17th level, you're going to get Perpetual Perfection, which is going to allow you to increase the Perpetual Infusion mutagens that you picked to their greater variety.
Hey!
First take,
that was actually worth it.
Woo!
That was great. I love it. You're also going to be gaining an Alchemist Feet at first level. Now, guess what? That's all the stuff you get from first level. Mind you, the the field research that we talked about went into deeper stuff.
Yeah.
But that's first level. You're getting a bunch of stuff at first level. You're making a ton of decisions. Do you see why I kind of chose the mutagen over the bomber now, though?
Yeah.
Like, I think that there's some really fun things that you can play with, and you can still throw bombs, you can still heal. It's just adding a little bit more to it.
I see where you're coming from, and I definitely don't think any of those three are weak. But honestly, the Trojan's really good at level 13.
I don't think it's weak. I just don't like the fact that there isn't a lot of choices.
You don't feel the choices as much.
Exactly.
I feel like the feat choices though are like enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, let's kind of go into that. So first level, you're going to be getting your Alchemist Feet, and then I'm just going to read these off really quickly because they're kind of the same across the board for all of them.
Bring it out.
So Skill Feet, you're going to get at second level. You're going to gain a General Feat at third level. You're going to get a Skill Increase at third level. Now I'm actually going to stop because Skill Increase is kind of important. You're going to be able to increase the training from untrained to trained, or from trained to expert in a skill. At 7th level, you're going to be able to go up to Mastery, and then at 15th level, you're going to be able to go up to Legendary.
Right.
That isn't special to this class, that's just across the board how it works.
Correct.
5th level, you're also going to get an ability boost where you're able to take 4 different abilities and increase them by 2 if they're below 18. Now, if they're above 18, you can only increase it by 1. That's kind of huge.
Yeah.
That's pushing people to get to 18 as soon as possible versus trying to I'm gonna get to 25 with my one skill.
Right. Now we're talking about the base class Alchemist again. None of these are specific to any given field research. These are things that you get for just being an alchemist to certain levels. At level 7, for example, you're going to get Alchemist Weapon Expertise, where you take all of the weapon proficiencies that you got from being an alchemist and you'll move them up to expert.
Just simple and alchemy weapons, because you're actually trained in unarmed from the base, and this only increases your simple weapons and your alchemy weapon.
Gotcha.
That's why it's important that the mutagen
progresses that part of you. Okay, understood.
You're also going to be getting Iron Will at 7th level, which is going to increase your will saving throws up to expert.
Nice. At 9th level, you get Alchemy Expertise. This is going to take your Alchemy class DC and increase it to Expert. At level 17, we're going to skip ahead a little bit, you get Alchemy Master, which is going to take your class DC and bump it up to Master.
At level 9, you're going to be getting Alertness, which is going to be increasing your proficiency in Perception to Expert.
Nice. At 9th level, you get Double Brew. You can use Quick Alchemy now to make 2 items, but you do have to use 2 infused reagents. So you're getting a 1-to-1 output still, you just get to do it twice on one turn. At level 15, you're going to get Alchemical Alacrity. This is going to basically increase this to 3. That's 3 items produced, 3 infused reagents spent.
Which I'm curious of how that works, because if you're spending an action to create 3 items, and they're not good the next round, you only have 2 more actions.
I'm curious as to how you hold 3 things. Are you double...
At level 11, you're going to get Juggernaut, which is going to increase your Fortitude saving throw to Expert, and, I really love this, you treat successes as if they were critical successes for Fortitude saves.
Oh, that makes sense, because you probably by level 11 have drank so many shitty potions that you've made and been like, oh, that's not good, I shouldn't.
Well, yeah.
At this point, your stomach's like, you know what? Just drink whatever you want. It's fine.
Theming wise of the Juggernaut section, that's basically they're like, you also probably spilled it on yourself. You're just like, oh, alchemy fire, you know.
At level 13, you get Light Armor Expertise. It's basically self-explanatory. You get Expert Proficiency in Light Armor.
And unarmored.
And unarmored.
I don't know why they call it Light Armor Expertise, but they're like, oh, it's unarmored and light. And you're like, I guess it's light and below.
Yeah, Light Armor and Below Expertise. Pretty lame sounding.
At level 13, you're going to get Weapon Specialization. You deal 2 additional damage for weapons and unarmed attacks that you're an expert in, and then it goes to 3 for anything that you're master in, and 4 for legendary.
That's cool. Just some flat damage buff.
Flat damage buff.
Don't gotta roll for it.
That's the key, is not rolling for it.
At 15th level, you're going to get Evasion. This is increasing your reflex save to master, and it's also going to allow you to treat successes as critical successes for reflex saves.
Exactly.
Nifty.
Next, you're going to get Light Armor Mastery, where you're going to take your light and unarmored proficiency up to Mastery.
You said the name of the feature wrong.
Yeah?
It's Light Armor and Below Mastery. Thank you very much.
This is the Alchemist. This is the bare bones of the Alchemist. There's a bunch of decisions that we didn't go over. There's, you know, the ancestries that are going to take effect. There is the class. There is this, like, there's just so many decisions that are involved.
Class feats. It's literally class feats. There's so many class feats.
That's really why we don't want to, like, deep dive into these, at least yet, because there's so much to them that will change. And then specifically because it's considered kind of like a pseudo spellcaster, there's decisions within the formulas in which you choose.
Right.
So it's
we
like,
have to talk about all the formulas.
Yeah, and that's why when we get to the point in which we're going to start doing builds, we're going to just talk about things that we think make sense for those to have. What did you think of the Alchemist? Is this going to be a class that you're going to be playing? If it is, or if you like it or don't like it, head down in the comments and let us know. Then go ahead and hit the like button on this video, and if you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit that. Don't hit the bell icon because it's useless. And then go over to Twitter and talk to me at Indigo QT, and I'm pretty sure I said that wrong.
Okay, cool. You can talk to me on Twitter at CroogQT, or you can talk to both of us on all these social media things. One of them is Patreon. If you feel like giving us money for whatever fucking reason, you can go ahead and send us some of that.
And also make sure to check out Court of Corvids. No one's playing an Alchemist, but not saying that they're not going to exist. Bye!
I really hope an alchemist throws something at my monk. Oh, I'm gonna catch it so hard. I'm gonna catch it with an appropriate amount of force to not break it in my hands. I'm gonna throw it back.
Oh, okay.